The journey we're taking is the journey within you. Everybody has their own story and their own journey to share. Every journey conceals another journey within its lines, the path not taken and the forgotten angle. Listen to the stories from others sharing their triumphs and struggles that led them to where they are today. Welcome to the journey within you. I am have the pleasure of having someone on another country even, and I'm just so excited to have her. Her name is Hayley, and Hayley, I just would love for you to share with my audience your story.
Hi, it's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited. Oh gosh, where do I even begin?
I know. Well, you're not that old. Let's go there because I'm like, okay, I can see that, but take us back. I mean, like, we always love to know where were you born and like what was your family life a little bit? What was that like?
Okay. Trigger warning for sure. I didn't have the best upbringing. I was
Mm,
born in East London, and I was born to parents that didn't want to be parents.
right.
And both of them had drinking problems. I was born with kidney problems because of that. And I was in and out of hospital for the first 2 years of my life.
Mm,
Um, and then my dad, for better use of a better word, left when I was about 3.
mm,
And I've never had a relationship with him since. And
wow.
then my mum left when I was around 15.
Mhm.
Um, I grew up a lot with my grandparents, who I was very, very fortunate for, like, so best grandparents in the world.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know even if I would even be here, if it wasn't for them.
Mm,
I had great grandparents and a fantastic aunt. My dad's sister also stepped up to be put sort of the role of my mother as such.
yeah.
Uh, Gave me away at my wedding a few years
Oh.
ago. And so, yeah, it was a very broken family. It's always been a broken family. Sadly, my grandparents passed away 2 years ago, both of
Mm,
Alzheimer's. And but sort of in my teens, I was always very into education. I was always very into school. I would be like the nerdy one doing
mhm.
homework, extra homework, credit kind of
You
thing.
loved it. You threw yourself
Always,
into that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was like it was a distraction as well, and it was sort
Yeah.
of like an escape hatch,
Yeah.
but it was a healthy one.
Yeah.
And I was also a huge fan of, and I still am, huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that was also like a big thing for me as a
Yeah.
kid. And so I was always like the weird child that liked vampires and demons um and it was like the one night I was like, she was like, Buffy was on like in the UK, Buffy was on every Thursday at like 9 p.m. on BBC Two, and it was the only night I was able to stay up late and watch it.
Watch TV. Yeah.
Because I was like 7 or 8 when it started. Um, and then, but yeah, so I was always into education and I always knew that I wanted to go to university. So I sort of like pushed myself. When my mum left, it was obviously devastating.
Mhm.
But like my grandparents took me in. I pushed myself through college,
Wow.
where I did performing arts. And there I sort of discovered the love of writing and then I went to university. I got myself into university, the first person in my whole entire family and the only one to go to university. Um,
Wow.
and on my dad's side anyway, my
Uh-huh.
mum's side, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Um, and then I studied creative writing and English literature at university at Falmouth University. Or it was Dartington College of Arts, which was part of Falmouth University, but now
Mhm.
it's completely in the south of England, in Cornwall. And I decided at university I wanted to become a journalist. So fresh out of university, I managed to get an internship at a tech company, which was quite at the time similar to YouTube. As YouTube was still on the rise, it was part of BBC, and you were doing like tech reviews.
Mhm.
And then it was there that I was like, I was working a lot with PRs, and I was like, I want to be on that side of the fence. I want to be the
Oh.
PRs. I want to be the ones developing the ideas and the pitches and sending the products out and working
Oh,
with these
wow.
really cool companies.
Yeah.
like, I wanna do that.
Yeah.
So I found an internship, and then moved into another internship, again in tech, and completely by accident. I was not chasing tech at all,
Yeah.
and, I started working for PR at a cloud computing company, which was the most boring job of my entire life.
You thought it would be the best thing ever.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. It was a toxic workplace, toxic
Oh.
company, toxic people.
Mm,
I learned a lot. I learned a lot about PR, and I made a lot of really, really great connections.
mm,
And so I was able to use those connections to sort of do. I got made redundant from that company. The company got sold, and then I sort of used those connections to do a little bit of freelance work here and there until I finally, like, after a little while, got a job at an agency in London, PR agency. It was my first sort of like real PR agency, lifestyle PR experience, which is what I wanted to do.
mhm,
I loved it. I was there for about 2 years. And then I decided to go freelance. And sort of explore more of what's out there. The company wasn't doing so well, so I sort of
mm.
jumped ship
Yeah.
before
Or
it
it went
sunk.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and yeah, and then the freelance work led me to sort of realizing is like I good at this. I'm good at PR. I enjoy it. I'm very passionate about it, and so I set up my first agency, Boxed Out PR. In London, and I think I ran that up until 2021, a year of COVID,
Mm,
and then by the end of COVID, this is a very shortened version of my entire story. Over the time got to the end of COVID, me and my husband, we were so burnt out. We'd both been working over COVID, very grateful to be able to work over COVID.
yeah. Yeah.
We were organizing a wedding over COVID. We had to move our wedding 3 times.
Oh.
And then it was and then it was Marcus's idea that he was like, "Let's go traveling."
Mm,
And we'd already proposed this idea, but we didn't think it was gonna happen because of COVID, and then we
yeah.
decided now or never. And we did, and we went traveling for 2 and packed up everything in London, packed up our lives, left our family and friends, packed up our jobs, and went traveling for 2.5 years and
Wow.
lived in savings. And we went all around the world, Europe, Asia, South America, North America. We even managed to get to the border of Antarctica, which was
Wow.
incredible.
That's gotta be incredible.
And it was, I will talk about that in a second. It was one of the most amazing experiences. And and then after 2.5 years, we were like, we're running out of money, and
And we
there's
better go
no
back
way
to
I can
work.
go to work. But we don't want to stop traveling. How do we
How
do
do we
this?
incorporate this? Yeah.
So it led to Marcus's marketing. So we led to setting up the Yellow, our now a PR and marketing agency, that's fully remote. And basically, like, again, I'll go more into details of Boxed Out PR and its failings,
Mhm.
but it was like everything that Boxed Out PR wasn't. It was everything that my old agency wasn't. It was everything that I wanted it, like, we didn't need. Like, I
Yeah.
suffered from burnout. It's all like the agency is centered very much around well-being and mindfulness. We have 4-day work weeks. We have mental health policies. Well-being comes first. So it's yeah, and we've just reached a year, and today we
Mm.
announced that we've been included in the Small Business 100 list, which is a really, really
Oh, wow.
thing.
Congratulations.
So
That's a big
it's really
accomplishment. Yeah. That is so cool. So again, tell us what exactly is that your company does and, being able to work remote. So that means you're always in a different area working your
um,
business.
we offer PR and marketing services. So we promote businesses, but businesses that specifically have a social impact. They're purpose led, they're mission driven. Basically, companies that are trying to put put some good into the world, make a
Yeah.
difference, change. So we work with vegan companies. We work with conservationists and environmentalists. We work with companies that are doing amazing things for employee engagement and making
Mm,
workplaces better.
mm,
We work with companies that are making social care and healthcare better. So anything like that,
mm.
really, that are really, like, really trying to sort of, like, yeah, make a difference is probably the
Make a
right term.
difference. Yeah, yeah. And does that bring you into the US as well, or is it more
It
just
does. It started to. It's very
yeah,
interesting, very
yeah.
exciting. So we've just signed actually a US client, or in the process of signing the US client called Datadocs, and they are creating sustainable supply chains within warehouses for deliveries and making basically delivery warehouses and delivery systems better for the people that work in them because
Oh,
we
wow.
the issues with Amazon and big warehouses, and they're trying to make it more sustainable for people, make it a better workplace for people, make the process easier.
And do you set up that platform for them? Like, I mean, you give them the steps and how to do that?
No, they're already doing it, and they're already doing it very well. We just
Uh-huh.
share their message, and we just
Oh,
market the
okay.
message.
You market it. You're
Yeah.
marketing the pit. Okay, got it. Now, understand a little better. Were you
Mhm.
the only child?
I am the only child, the only grandchild.
Yeah,
Don't have many cousins either.
yeah,
Um, and I think that's one thing that sort of I really struggled
yeah,
with with my parents leaving because not only did they leave me, they left
yeah.
me alone.
They left you alone. Yeah. And
And
that feeling of aloneness is not good. That
it's not
that is a
fun.
fear for
It's
many. We don't want to be alone. And so many don't leave a situation that they should leave because of fear of alone. And
Mhm.
then like you, the
Been there.
situation left you and made you feel alone. And I hate that. Do you still feel that sometimes?
It comes with severe abandonment issues,
Yeah.
and severe abandonment issues that have never gotten less severe and have never gone away.
Yeah.
It's, it's yeah, it comes into play in all of my relationships, friends and otherwise. It has come into all of my relationships, it comes into my marriage, it comes in to my work,
Mm,
I anxiety of, people leaving or doing something
mhm.
wrong. It's
To
like
cause them to leave. Yeah.
and it's made me, I'm not so bad with it now, but, when I was younger, unable to set boundaries with people, unable to say how I was feeling, because I was so afraid of confrontation, massive, massive people pleaser.
Yeah.
It's just it feeds negatively into so many different areas.
Mm, mm. And that has to be such a um hard thing to carry because you're trying so hard to make an impact with your company. And then you have that fear set in, and you're almost like stepping over yourself, trying not to have that while you're making a business proposition, or if someone starts talking about something and you're like, they're thinking about leaving. They're not sure
It's
about us. And then you're like, oh wait, I gotta fix this. I gotta make it happen. And then yeah, that's hard to
yeah,
carry. And how
it's
old are
hard
you?
to
If you
manage.
mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 36.
36. So you're young. And so that's a lot to carry at that age. I'm 62 and I still had those things that trigger that,
Yes.
I have a husband that's ill. So that alone feeling, knowing that he's going to one day maybe gone before me. And it's like,
Mm.
I'm going to be alone. And so you have that. That's a fear, definite fear. And there's ways to work through that. There's ways to manage it, healthy ways. And
Yes,
I think you have done that.
a huge advocate for therapy.
Yes.
Um, I do a lot of somatic therapy. I, I've learned that a lot of my trauma is stored in my body, and I experience it physically. So
Mhm.
being able to use somatic therapy and healing to connect with my body and connect with where my anxiety and depression
Mhm.
um, and sort of feelings and emotions sit in different parts of my body and what they
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
That's been huge in healing.
Oh, I can imagine. So you do travel quite a bit. I mean, how long are you usually in one spot? How long do you like you're in Turkey now? How long will you probably be there?
So I've been here for 2 weeks, but I've just come from Kosovo, and I was in Kosovo for a month.
Okay.
Uh,
So it varies.
it varies. So it's slower now. Like when we were traveling without working, especially we did 6 months in South America. So in order to see as much of South America as
Yeah.
possible, we were doing like 2, 3, 4 days in each spot,
Yeah.
and it's exhilarating, but it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And And by the end of it, I was like, "I'm done. I can't
Yeah.
travel like this anymore. Like, I'm not 25 anymore. Like, I can't do
No,
it."
you gotta feel like you're kinda like home, but yet not home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and I wanna get to know places now, and I wanna get
Yeah.
to, like, meet like, Kosovo is amazing because it's like Pristina, the capital, is so small. Everyone knows everyone, you connect with
Oh,
people, you meet quickly.
and
So it was like a
friendly.
little community
Yeah.
month. Yeah, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, if anyone ever gets a chance to go to Kosovo, go. It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Um, and it's definitely been one of my favorite places. The people are just so tremendously grateful and welcoming and
Oh,
just
I love
happy.
that. Yeah, and happy.
But then, yeah, so I usually try to stay in a month, sort of around a month in a place. Next year we're looking at doing like Greece for a year,
Oh,
um, and just sort of staying put for a year. I'm
yeah.
just not a big fan of the UK, so I don't like going there back a lot, and I don't really intend on living there
Yeah. Yeah.
really
And
that
you
much.
talked about I know when we did our interview, we were talking about, not having a house. That was not
Yeah,
necessary. Yeah.
no. It's not. I think that a lot of them I'm not like, if that's what people want, like, that's what people
Oh,
want, and
great. Yeah.
yeah, great. But I feel sometimes I'm so judged for not wanting a house and
Mm.
not wanting to settle down, and it's like, I just feel like it's such a trap to get in and, like, pay mortgages, especially in the UK now, like, the house is so expensive, and it's almost, like, undoable, like, you can't have everything in the UK now. It's like, you can't be in a good area if you want a house because it's too expensive, or you can't be,
Mm.
like, near transport links, or if you have a family, you can't be near good schools because it just gets more and more
All the
expensive.
things, all the complications. Yeah.
And, like, and rent is just ridiculous. Rent is insane. And, like, when I went back to London last, it was like I went into, Wimbledon where my friend was living, and there was advertisements for a new, apartment block, and it was like, studio apartments from £1,700 a month plus bills, and I was like, "So what?" Excuse me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, £1,700, like, that would get me, like, for example, in Kosovo, my apartment in Kosovo for a month was €300,
Yeah.
and I had a two-bedroom apartment,
And it was
in the
beautiful, probably. Yeah.
it was beautiful, and it was the middle of the town center,
Oh, wow. I bet
and
that was
so
amazing.
it
No wonder
was
you
like
didn't wanna leave it.
I'm like, that's like, so £1,700 can get me a few months in Kosovo, like, it doesn't make sense to me to buy a house. It's not an invest unless you're looking to buy, like a doer upper and flip it, or like invest it,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I this is not an investment for me anymore. It might be different. I know it's different in the US, but in the UK, it's just not worth it to me
Not
anymore.
worth it. Yeah. So, are you planning on having children, or do you have children, or no?
I don't want them.
Yeah.
I've never been maternal, and I don't know, like, whether that's because of, like, my situation,
Right.
or it's
Right.
just like I just remember, like, all of my friends playing, like, mother and baby when I was a kid, and me being like, "I'm gonna be an archaeologist today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be, like,
You are everything
shopkeeper."
but that. Yeah.
And I just wanted to be a I just wanted to have a career, like, someone, I
Yeah.
can't remember who it was like, they bought me, like, this post office thing when I was a kid, and you got
Mhm.
to pretend to run a post office. I was
Mhm.
addicted. And so, like, I always knew that I was gonna run a business one way or another.
Right.
Um, yeah, like, I hated dolls as a kid. Like, I loved Barbie, but because she could be anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you gave me, like, an actual doll, I would just look at you as, like, I'd be like,
I
"What
don't
is
want
this?"
that. What am I supposed to do with this thing? Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay. I love that you're strong in that, and, and that you have built your life around that, because never to be shamed that you don't own a house. I mean, look at the career, look at the life you're living. And I think some people may say that because 'cause they're jealous. They're
Mm,
jealous of what you have, and they're stuck at their home, and they're stuck paying those bills and not seeing what you're seeing, and that can create that. So your husband is all for that too. He's with you in all the things. You work really well together as
yeah,
a
yeah,
team.
we're on the same page with everything. We both want the same thing, and, like, we're both sort of working towards the same goals.
That's awesome to have that with each other, because that's important. You have big dreams, and if you don't have someone beside you doing that with you, and having, they have some of their own too, I'm sure, but at least together, because that's how my husband and I have always been. We've worked together over 28 years and love what we do and being able to work together. And so, yeah, that's important too. So, what is one thing that if you could share with the audience, that you feel is important and in a way that we can make an impact in our life? Just something simple that we could be doing.
Um, oh gosh, there's a lot. So I don't
There's
like
a lot.
I'm vegan and I'm really, really trying not to go down the go vegan route right now because that's
Okay.
not the kind of vegan that I am.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say like eat more sustainably.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that.
use like more sustainable food options. It's like I would like love to be able to be like everyone go vegan, but it's not a helpful argument in my opinion.
Right.
Um, it's like what people can do is like choose better food options. Like if you do eat meat, like get it from the butcher or like a high quality place. Don't buy cheap meat from the supermarket. I know it's not always
Yeah.
possible for someone, but like
Right. Right. Well, it is
the
more
time that you
widely
like
available nowadays, and
it is,
especially
it's a
here
lot more
now. It is.
accessible.
Yeah. And like I know
And
a lot of pushing about the farmers market. Go get the fresh vegetables and the fresh
oh,
things, the
100%.
fruit. Yeah.
And it's not expensive. It's like by the time that
No.
you go and buy your like Chick-fil-A in America or your McDonald's or your KFC, you can go to the supermarket and just buy and like the amount of amazing dishes that you can make with fruit and
Mm-hmm.
vegetables and whole grain.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually doing
And
the
it's
box dinners, that you can I don't know if y'all have that
oh, yeah,
available there, but like HelloFresh and things where we get the meal already
yeah, yeah.
all there for you, but then I cook it still. But we're
Mm,
eating fresher food, that it's not all processed and all that quick box stuff that you buy and throw together. And we have done
mm.
so much better doing that. And then like yesterday I ordered all my fruit, having fruit on hand to snack on. Um, it tastes better. It's good for us, and
Yeah,
I
I
know a
love
lot
it
of
as well.
friends that are vegan, but I love the fact how you put that, you don't push it, but you give other options of ways that you can eat better.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, it's like it's all about education. It's like you can it's like I don't know if you have similar things in the US, but we have a activist group in the UK called Extinction Rebellion who do great things. They campaign for like to stop fossil fuels. They campaign for veganism, animal rights. They do amazing things, but sometimes they take their campaigns a little bit too far. Like they
Yeah.
had one where they were trying to like stop oil, and they put oil all over a really famous painting in a gallery and it's like, that's not gonna help you achieve your
No.
goals. That's not
No.
going to get people being like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do what you're telling me." This is just
Yeah.
gonna piss you off,
It just
like,
makes them
it's gonna
mad. Yeah.
yeah,
Why do you have to
and
express yourself that way to get a point across, right?
yeah, it's all for
Mm-mm.
me, it's about education and awareness and sort of,
Mm-hmm.
like, giving people choice, like, people are allowed to have choice.
Mm-hmm. We were created that way to have free choice. And that's one thing for sure I believe in, being able to do that. What is one thing as we wrap up, and I really appreciate you taking the time from Turkey to be on with us.
Thank you so
I have to
much.
say that. That's just so cool. Um, what is something that you like to collect?
Oh gosh, so if you'd asked me like a year ago, I'd be like Buffy stuff, just buy everything. But I don't do that now because I don't have anywhere to put it.
That's what I was
But
wondering with you going all the time. Might be kind
um,
of hard
I try and collect like little momentums from
from each
like
area.
each country that I go to, whether it's like a magnet or like a pen or even like a shell from the beach.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I love taking photos and
Oh
collecting
yeah.
memories. It sounds so
Oh
cliche, but
yeah.
collecting
No,
memories.
no, it's so big. I mean, I'm right there with you.
And, like, we like me and Marcus, like, my husband, we like collecting things for other people, like, right now, like, our friend Starlin, who lives in Colombia, who's a very good friend, like, we met him while traveling, he's become him and his partner Karen have become some of our best friends. He collects clipper lighters, which is a brand of lighter.
Oh,
So,
okay.
every time we go into a country now, we'll buy a country branded clipper lighter for him, so when we see him again, we've got, like, a whole bag of clipper
Oh, that's
lighters for
so
him.
cool. I bet he
Or
loves
like
it
we
too.
get shot glasses for another friend, like, we like collecting for other people because we don't
Yeah.
have a home, we don't have anywhere to put things in, we don't have storage, don't have much storage at home. So it's like when we don't really feel the need to buy stuff, I don't need stuff, I don't think I've bought new clothes in forever. But it's like I like gifting other people, so I sort of like collect
Mm.
things for other people.
I was thinking about earrings for you because
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, Marcus bought me these for my birthday, these are so beautiful, and then I have another
Oh,
but
yeah.
I cut my hair short, so I used to have really long hair, at the beginning of this year, and we went to Brazil for 3 months, in January, and in February, We were in, or end of January, we're in a place in Brazil called Serra, which is on the beach. Beautiful, beautiful beach.
Oh.
Um, Super safe, lovely family. It's a little like LGBT friendly town. It's amazing.
Mm, mm,
And I did sort of like had a little bit of a spiritual awakening in the jungle, and I was like, came to the conclusion, I was like, I need to cut my hair off. I just feel like I really need to cut my hair off. And I was like on the way to a hairdresser one day to get my hair cut, and I was like, just cut it off. Let's just get rid of it.
yeah.
So like now it looks like this. And it's when since then I started wearing earrings. I never
Yeah.
wore earrings before.
You never wore 'em 'cause you couldn't see them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I like your hair. I love my hair short. This is always my hair. I had long, long hair too. And I was finally one day I was like, "Oh, cut it off. I don't need this anymore and I want simple. I just run my hair hand through it and it's ready to go."
yeah, and like
Ah,
for hair as well, it's like you carry so much weight and so much energy in your hair that if you have like negative energy around you, you're constantly like things are going wrong or you can't seem to be aligned, like cut your hair. Like it's all in your hair.
mm, mm. That's good. That's good. Maybe that's why I have such great energy. I don't have long hair.
You
I
do
like
indeed.
that. Yeah. I'm even in the heart, I'm still, happy and excited and good to be here. Um, Well, Haley, thank you for being on today and sharing your
Thank you.
story. I appreciate it so much. You're a cutie. You are. You are such a cutie. Oh. Thank you for joining my podcast today. We all have a story to share. Each story has purpose and makes an impact to you, the listener, creating a journey with passion and purpose. The journey we're taking is the journey within you. Please share with others and subscribe below.